Good morning. What had we discussed in the previous class? We discussed meaning, features, importance of directing. Okay, and we also briefly discussed elements of directing. Now, first element of directing is supervision. Okay, and supervision, we discussed the meaning in the previous class. The functions of supervision or role of supervision we have already covered in chapter 1 under levels of management when we discussed supervisory level management, right? So now next element of directing is motivation. What is the meaning of motivation according to you?
So motivation is motivation is a encouragement.
Encouragement, right? So motivation comes from the word motive. Motive is an inner state that energizes, activates, and directs behavior towards some goal. Okay. For example, hunger is a motive to search for food. Thirst is a motive to look for water. Right. So motivation is the process of stimulating people. Stimulating means encouraging people to take the desired course of action by recognizing their needs and providing them suitable incentives. हम कैसे encourage कर सकते हैं लोगों को, कैसे motivate कर सकते हैं?
So by incentivizing them.
By providing them some incentives. And how do we know which incentives to give?
Sir, everyone has different needs. According to that, we can incentivize
Yes, very good. So first we need to identify.
in jobs, you usually get promotion.
Yes. So first we need to identify their needs and then give them suitable incentives, offer them suitable incentives which will satisfy those needs well. And to get those incentives, they will be encouraged to work to the best of their ability. Okay. Incentives are also called motivators. Now, features of motivation. First of all, motivation is an internal feeling. Motivation is not something physical which can be handed over to someone. Motivation is not something tangible which we can see, which we can touch. It's an intangible, it's an internal feeling. Whether a person is feeling motivated or demotivated, it's a psychological concept. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Then motivation directly influences the behavior and performance of a person. A highly motivated person's behavior will be very good. His or her performance will be very good. And the reverse may happen in case of a demotivated person. So motivation develops a goal-directed behavior. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Motivation, now how to encourage someone? There can be two ways. One way is through positive incentives, that if you do this, you will get this. If you achieve this level of performance, you will get this incentive. And the other way is through negative incentives. Negative incentives means punishments. If you do not do this, this will be the punishment. If you do not achieve this target, this will be the punishment. Which one should we use?
Sir, positive incentive?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We should always try to use positive incentives. Okay. If any particular employee is not responding to the positive incentives, First we should discuss with that employee what the problem is. If there is no problem and still the employee is not responding to the positive incentives and behavior of an employee is not proper, then after trying giving positive incentives, after trying counseling that employee for 2-3 times, if still the behavior does not improve, then we can opt for negative incentives in case of that employee. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Fourth feature is motivation is a complex process. Why is it a complex or a complicated process?
Sir, because you can't decide everyone's needs and how much incentive should be given.
Yes, because each individual is unique, different. Each individual has different needs, different nature, different behavior. So different individuals may respond differently to the same incentives. So to understand the needs of individuals and giving them suitable incentives is a complex or a complicated process. Features clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we come to motivation process. Now this process is given in the book not from the point of view of the manager who has to motivate. It is given from the point of view of person who is being motivated. Okay? So if you keep that in mind, you will be able to understand and you will be able to relate to it. First step is there are certain unsatisfied needs of a person. If any person does not have any unsatisfied needs, if there is any person who is completely satisfied with his or her life, whatever he or she has got in life, then we cannot motivate that person by giving any incentive. So first prerequisite is the person we are trying to motivate should have some unsatisfied needs. Only very few people in the world, some maybe sannyasis, sadhus, yogis, maybe such who are completely satisfied in their life and they do not have any unsatisfied need. For such persons, we cannot motivate them by giving any incentive. But for most of the people, they have some unsatisfied needs. Then second step, these unsatisfied needs create tension in the mind of the person whose needs are unsatisfied. Suppose some hunger is the unsatisfied need of the person you are willing to motivate. Now that hunger creates tension in the mind of that person that I am hungry, I want something to eat. Third step, the tension stimulates the drives to search for means of need satisfaction. This tension in the mind stimulates or encourages that person to search for food somewhere. ठीक है, आप अगर घर पे अकेले हो, आपको भूख लगी है, now what will you do? Tension mind में build up हो रही है, you will see what is there, if there is anything in the kitchen, you will open the refrigerator, you will see if there is anything you would like to have from there, or maybe you would like to search for something which you can cook quickly. So searching for the means of need satisfaction. Fourth step, this encouragement or this drive leads to actual searching by the person for various alternatives to satisfy the needs. As we just discussed, a hungry person will go to the kitchen, look for food, will go and open the refrigerator, look for food there. Then the alternative that seems to be most appropriate, the alternative that seems most suitable is chosen and the need is satisfied through that alternative. किचन में आपको कुछ मिल गया खाने के लिए, आपने वहां से कंज्यूम कर लिया, नाउ योर हंगर इज सेटिस्फाइड. विद द सेटिस्फैक्शन ऑफ नीड, नेक्स्ट स्टेप, टेंशन इज रिड्यूस्ड. वो जो टेंशन बिल्डअप हुई थी हंगर से, वो अब खत्म हो जाएगी. लेकिन ह्यूमन बीइंग्स में स्पेशलिटी क्या है, जैसे ही एक नीड सेटिस्फाई होगी, कोई और नीड पे फोकस चला जाएगा, कोई दूसरी नीड अब प्रायोरिटी बन जाएगी. ठीक है, जैसे ही हंगर की नीड सेटिस्फाई हुई, मे बी नाउ द नीड फॉर some entertainment arises and then you start looking for alternatives how to satisfy that need. Okay, so with satisfaction of certain needs, further needs emerge. फिर अगली बार वो further needs से related incentives encourage करेंगे, and this process keeps on going continuously. Is the process clear?
Yes, sir.
So as managers, we have to understand which needs are priority of the employees at present. And then we have to offer them suitable incentives which can satisfy those needs. Importance of motivation. Tell me, how will motivation be important? Nothing? Okay.
Sir,
So,
what did you ask?
how is motivation important?
Sir, motivation is important because, sir, without motivation, sir, a worker or an employee can't work to his utmost potential.
Very good.
So, sir, for more utility or usefulness, sir, an employee should be motivated.
Right. So first point is helps improve performance. Employees who are highly motivated, they will perform to the best of their ability, and the performance of the entire organization will be very good if most of the employees or all the employees are highly motivated. Secondly, ensures achievement of goals. जो लोग मोटिवेटेड होते हैं वही गोल्स को अचीव कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनका पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड होता है टुवर्ड्स वर्क. पीपल हु आर लेस मोटिवेटेड और हु आर डीमोटिवेटेड कैन नॉट अचीव दोज गोल्स. जस्ट इमेजिन, अगर हमारे फ्रीडम फाइटर्स का एटीट्यूड कुछ ऐसा होता, ट्राई करके देखते हैं इंडिपेंडेंस के लिए, ब्रिटिशर से मांग के देखते हैं आजादी, शायद मिल जाए. सो फिर शायद कभी भी नहीं मिल पाती. बट दे हैड दैट मोटिवेशन, दैट डिटर्मिनेशन. स्वराज हमारा जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार है और इसे तो हम लेकर रहेंगे. दैट लेवल ऑफ मोटिवेशन दे हैड, एंड दैट इज व्हाई विद द एफर्ट्स ऑफ सो मेनी, भगत सिंह, सुभाष चंद्र बोस, महात्मा गांधी, लाला लाजपत राय, so many people and countless people whose names we don't even know, because of their determination, because of their motivation, we were able to achieve independence. So motivation ensures achievement of goals. Third, reduces absenteeism. Highly motivated employees will feel like working. They want to do the work willingly. They enjoy their work. And when they enjoy their work, then they will not take much leaves. So there will be lesser absenteeism. Reduces employee turnover. Turnover means, employee turnover means,
Sir, the pressure taken by an employee.
not exactly. अकाउंटेंसी में जब हम टर्नओवर की बात करते हैं उसका मतलब होता है सेल्स. लेकिन जब हम एम्प्लॉय टर्नओवर की बात करते हैं, इट डज नॉट मीन सेल्स. इट मीन्स नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज लीविंग द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ठीक है, बिकॉज ऑफ एनी रीजन. इफ एम्प्लॉयज आर हाईली मोटिवेटेड, if they are enjoying their work in our organization, will they feel like leaving the organization? Certainly not. On the other hand, so labor turnover or employee turnover will be low. On the other hand, if employees are demotivated, they are dissatisfied with their jobs, they are upset with the working environment, then many employees will keep leaving the organization as soon as they get a better opportunity elsewhere. Employee turnover will be high. So motivation helps in reducing employee turnover. Reduces resistance to change. What is resistance to change?
Sir, the behavior of an employee to change in company, like if I put an employee from one department to other, if he is motivated, he will fit in easier than if he is not motivated.
Yes. Whenever, see, what if I tell you that from tomorrow onwards you will have classes from 9 p.m. to 12 p.m.
Sir, that's good.
For you, that's good because maybe those timings suit you. But for many students, that may be their sleeping time. So they will not like it. When something is going on in a particular way, we get habitual of it, we get used to it. Whenever a change comes, now some people who are of adventurous nature, they like changes. They welcome changes. Okay, some change will be there. Let's see what happens. But there are many people who are of a conservative nature who do not like change. Why? Because with change comes uncertainty, and they are afraid of uncertainty. Maybe this change is good for us, maybe this change is bad for us. We don't want to take any chance. So many people resist change, means they oppose change. Whenever some change comes, they try to oppose it and they prefer status quo. जैसा है वैसा चलने दो. लेकिन बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में जब चेंज होगा तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में भी चेंजेस लाने पड़ेंगे, टेक्निक्स में, वे ऑफ वर्किंग में. True motivation means using motivation, the manager can explain the need for that change to the employees, the benefits of that change to the employees. The manager will make them realize what benefits they will get if they accept that change. When this is done, now the employees will be highly motivated and they will accept the desirable changes willingly. Clear?
Yes.
Any doubt in any points of importance?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we just said to motivate the employees, we need to understand their needs. So now we'll discuss what do we mean by needs, what are various types of needs. What are needs?
Sir, needs. Sir, some are basic needs like food, water, and sleep and rest. And sir, some are needs which are more materialistic.
Right. So need means necessity. Now, in order to motivate persons, it is necessary to understand and satisfy their needs. In this context, there have been many theories of understanding needs. ठीक है, हमारे वेदों शास्त्रों में भी लिखा हुआ है साम दाम दंड भेद. To convince someone, साम means logic. First apply logic. उसे logically समझाओ जो आप बात कह रहे हो. समझ में आ जाएगी तो वो मानेगा या मानेगी. ठीक है. सेकेंड इज दाम. आप कुछ इंसेंटिव दो कि आप अगर ये बात मानोगे, ऐसा करोगे तो आपको ये इंसेंटिव मिलेगा. दैट इज दाम. Then दंड is negative incentive, कि अगर फिर भी कोई नहीं मान रहा है और उसका बिहेवियर इंप्रूव नहीं हो रहा है, तो फिर आप एक पनिशमेंट का भी डर दिखा सकते हो कि अगर नहीं मानोगे तो ये पनिशमेंट मिल सकती है. ठीक है. एंड देन कम्स भेद. भेद मीन्स differentiate, divide. On that basis, offer something to someone, something else to someone else based on their needs. Anyway, in our syllabus, the theory of needs that is there we have to study is given by A.H. Maslow. A.H. Maslow. Now, he has classified various human needs into 5 categories. And the name of his theory is need hierarchy theory. What do we mean by hierarchy?
So hierarchy is the chain of command.
Okay. And hierarchy means which has different levels. Like, so like a staircase. So needs have a hierarchy. There are different levels of needs. First level is physiological needs. ठीक है. ये ध्यान से पढ़ना, सुनना और समझना और उससे भी ज्यादा ध्यान से लिखना. इसको कई बार कई स्टूडेंट्स लिख देते हैं एग्जाम में साइकोलॉजिकल नीड्स. साइकोलॉजिकल इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम फिजियोलॉजिकल. Physiological means related to body and psychological means related to the mind. ठीक है. कुछ लोग और कुछ स्टूडेंट्स तो और माशाअल्लाह होते हैं, वो दोनों को कंबाइन कर देते हैं और एक नई टर्म बना देते हैं. मैंने एग्जाम शीट्स में ऐसी टर्म्स देखी हैं, साइकोलॉजिकल नीड्स. फिजियोलॉजिकल और साइकोलॉजिकल दोनों वर्ड्स को मिक्स कर दिया. तो ध्यान से यूज करना है वर्ड्स. फिजियोलॉजिकल.
सर इट्स अ टाइम सेविंग टेक्निक.
हाँ जी.
सर इट्स अ टाइम सेविंग टेक्निक.
Which one?
Sir, putting 2 words together as one.
But if you put 2 words together and write psychological needs over here, what marks will you get?
Good point, sir.
0. Because psychological needs is not a point of that technique that you are talking about is combining several words, taking some characters from every word and making a sentence or a word which is easy to remember. But then before writing it or telling it, again you have to expand them individually. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So physiological needs are the most basic needs without which it is very difficult to survive. Means those which are essential for survival. Which is the first most thing essential for survival, जिसके बिना कुछ मिनट भी हम नहीं रह सकते.
Sir, air.
Air. Then comes water. Maybe a few days. Then comes food, maybe a few more days. Then sleep, etc. So basic needs which are essential for survival, these are called physiological needs. Right? Now, if we talk about management levels or organization में employees के levels, कौन से level पे ये needs important है?
Sir, the survival need should be at the basic level.
Okay. Why? Do you think the general manager does not need to survive?
Sir, I mean that is required by everyone. So it is not actually an incentive. You can't stop anyone from breathing.
Yes. So physiological, in fact, not only physiological, whatever needs we will discuss, they are required by people working at all levels. Operative level also, supervisory level management, middle level management, top level management, wherever, however, every person has these needs. But when we talk about motivation, then from point of view of motivation, physiological needs, why are we discussing these needs in motivation? Because we want to give suitable incentives. So from the point of view of giving incentives to someone, physiological needs are most important at the operative level of workers, for the operative level workers. ठीक है? और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या कर सकती है उनकी ये नीड्स फुलफिल करने के लिए? Remember the remuneration principle. Remuneration should be at least sufficient to satisfy the basic needs of every employee. तो कम से कम इतनी रेम्यूनरेशन, इतनी सैलरी तो सबको दें जिसमें कि उनकी बेसिक नीड्स को फुलफिल कर पाए इजीली. ठीक है?
Yes.
Next level, once physiological needs of a person, you might have seen on the roads when we stop at a traffic signal, you might have seen some very old people begging, and they are moving in between the traffic in a crisscross manner, zigzag manner, without caring that they may get hit by any vehicle. Some very young children are begging over there on the roads without caring for their safety. Why? Because their physiological needs are not satisfied. For that, they are even ready to endanger their life, or they are even willing to take the risk of getting hurt. So that is the importance of physiological needs. But once the physiological needs are satisfied, then the next level of needs arise, safety and security needs. Now, once all the physiological needs of a person are getting satisfied comfortably, now the person wants safety against physical danger. Safety or security may be farak hai technically. We use these words interchangeably sometimes, but technically there is a small difference. Safety means safety against physical dangers of injury, accident, sickness, etc. And security is economic and social security against dangers of unemployment, insolvency, old age dependency, etc. Now, how can the okay, tell me at which level will these needs be most important from incentives point of view?
So, what were you saying exactly?
Safety and security needs इंसेंटिव के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, मोटिवेशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से किस लेवल पर सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होंगी?
So they are needed for all levels of the organization. So it's important, but it is something that is everywhere. It's not something of a one of a kind thing.
Yes, as we discussed, all types of needs are required by all the people irrespective of the level. But from motivation point of view, safety and security needs are most important at the for the operative level workers and supervisory level managers, because their physiological needs are generally taken care of by their salary. But now they're providing them safety, provided physical safety. How can the organization provide physical safety? By having a strong boundary of the office premises, of the company premises, so that someone from outside may not just come in and harm anyone or hurt anyone. Having proper guards, cameras, okay, for physical safety. And for economic and social security, for the organization can provide them shelter, job security. जॉब सिक्योर होगी तो इकोनॉमिक सिक्योरिटी बनी रहेगी. Life insurance. Every organization should invest in life insurance of its employees so that if any employee loses his or her life, a lump sum amount is paid by the insurance company to the family members of that employee. ठीक है. मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस जरूर करानी चाहिए एम्प्लॉइज की. ऑफिसेज में भी, घर, इवन एट आवर होम्स इफ वी हैव डोमेस्टिक हेल्थ, तो हमें भी उनका ये पेंशन पॉलिसी, मेडिक्लेम पॉलिसी वगैरह हमें करवानी चाहिए.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, in accounts we studied about workmen compensation fund. So, sir, if an organization is providing insurance to its employees, so it also needs a workman compensation.
Not then, because then it will be taken care of by the insurance. Okay. In addition to that insurance, the company may give additional compensation from its side, but legally then they are not required when they have got the insurance done.
Okay, sir.
It is similar to Motor Vehicles Act. On the road, if your vehicle hits anyone and causes any damage, injury, or any kind of loss to that person, then you are personally liable to pay the damages and compensation. But for that, third party insurance is there. If you have got third party insurance, which is also legally compulsory to get done, third party insurance. If you have taken that insurance policy for your vehicle, then the insurance company will pay those damages. Then it is your wish, you may give from your side also, but legally you are not bound to, because the insurance company will look into that. Okay. You can only be punished if you are found violating any traffic rules according to the laws, but compensation will be paid by the insurance company in that case.
Okay, sir.
Right. So medical insurance, ये बहुत बड़ी इनसिक्योरिटी है मोस्टली लोगों में होती है कि कभी बीमार हो जाएंगे या हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन हो गई, कुछ इंजरी हो गई उसकी वजह से या बीमारी की वजह से, तो बहुत खर्चा हो जाएगा. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने अगर एम्प्लॉइज का मेडिक्लेम इंश्योरेंस करवा रखा है, सिर्फ एम्प्लॉइज का नहीं, अच्छी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एम्प्लॉइज के फैमिली मेंबर्स का भी करवाती है, तो क्या होगा, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बहुत कम अमाउंट पे करना होता है उसके लिए एज अ प्रीमियम. बट if employee or any family member of employee requires any hospitalization, incurs any medical expenses, those are paid by the insurance company. Okay. Then there is pension policy. We अपने एम्प्लॉइज की पेंशन पॉलिसी भी जरूर लेनी चाहिए, पेंशन फंड में भी इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए. क्यों? जिससे कि वो रिटायर जब होंगे, रिटायर होने के बाद पेंशन फंड क्या होता है, एवरी मंथ the employer contributes some amount to the pension fund of the employee, and when the employee retires or leaves the organization, then for the remaining life the employee keeps getting some returns out of that pension fund every month, so that in old age the employee is not the person is not completely dependent on family members economically. Clear?
Yes, sir.
और ये ऐसी चीजें हैं कि अगर आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रोवाइड कर रही है या नहीं कर रही है, हर इंडिविजुअल को लेनी चाहिए. मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस लेनी चाहिए, पेंशन पॉलिसी जरूर लेनी चाहिए. ठीक है. सो फिजियोलॉजिकल नीड्स एंड सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी नीड्स आर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एम्प्लॉइज वर्किंग एट द लोअर लेवल्स, and hence they can be motivated mostly by offering such incentives which fulfill these needs effectively. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, anyone? You can click on raise hand. We stop here for today. Okay, thank you.